What's the real measure of love? Is it about the big, flashy gestures? Or is it found in those quiet, almost invisible moments that we might not even notice? Today, we're diving into an incredibly moving story about a brother, a sister, and a single small kindness that was really hiding a lifetime of sacrifice. So, before we jump in, just take a second to think about this question. What is the greatest sacrifice? Is it some huge, heroic act? Or is it something quieter? Something that just unfolds day after day for a whole lifetime? Just let that idea simmer as we get started. Our story kicks off with the narrator. She's a successful woman, she's married to a doctor, and she's living what looks like a very comfortable life. But what we're about to find out is that this entire life is built on a foundation she knows absolutely nothing about, a secret that her brother has kept for decades. And to really understand her present, we have to go way back. We have to rewind to their childhood, because everything hinges on this one defining secret between them. It's kind of wild, isn't it? How one single moment, one small choice you make when you're a kid can just send these ripples out that change everything. Well, for them, it all started with a lie. Okay, so this is where it all begins. We're about to see the lie itself, the choice that was made out of fear, and the incredibly steep price that was paid, not by the person who told the lie, but by the one who decided to protect her. So picture this. The narrator, as a little girl, steals this small, colorful penknife. It's just a childhood thing, an impulse. She's fascinated by it, takes it, and doesn't really think about what happens next. But, of course, her father finds out something is missing. So when they're confronted by their furious father, the little girl just freezes up in fear. And seeing how terrified she is, her brother, who's only 11 years old, does something just incredible. Without even hesitating, he steps up and says he did it, taking all of the blame right onto his own shoulders. And you can just feel the tension here. Their father wasn't just annoyed, he was furious. He threatens to beat both of them, creating this atmosphere of pure fear. And in that split second, the brother's protective instinct just completely takes over. He decides to face the punishment all by himself, just to keep his sister safe. But here's the thing. This was so much more than just taking a punishment. He didn't just accept a beating. He accepted a new label. From that day on, he's the thief, the troublemaker. And that one lie, a lie he told out of love, sent his life down a totally different road than his sister's. And that moment, that wasn't the end of it, not by a long shot. It was actually just the beginning. It set off this chain reaction that led to years and years of hardship, all because of that one act of protection. His life just becomes one of nonstop work. While other kids are in school, he's working at a cigarette kiosk. When he's a young man, he's grinding it out at a bus stand. He completely gives up on his own education, his own future, all for one reason: to make sure his sister could have hers. I mean, this visual is just so powerful. On one side, you see the brother, totally exhausted, covered in grime from his job. And on the other, there's his sister, living this clean, comfortable life, who ends up marrying a doctor. His hard work is like this invisible bridge connecting these two completely different worlds. In a letter, you can see just how deep his commitment goes. He's not just working, he's working for her. And notice the humility here. He's worried his job will embarrass her, so he asks her to hide the fact that they're related. He's willing to be a stranger to her in public, just to protect her reputation, while he's busy funding her dreams. Now, for years, the sister thought the whole penknife incident was his greatest sacrifice. But the story isn't over. It turns out the most profound act of love was hidden away in a memory she had totally forgotten, a kindness so small it was basically invisible. So how can that be, right? How can the greatest sacrifice also be the smallest? Well, this little puzzle is right at the heart of their story. And the answer is what finally reveals the true depth of his love for her. Okay, so let's fast forward a few decades. The brother is in the hospital after an accident at work. And it's here, in this vulnerable moment, that he finally shares a different memory, another story from their childhood that changes everything for his sister. It's such a simple memory. They're kids, it's a freezing cold day, and she loses her gloves. Without a single word, he just gives her his. Think about that for a second. He suffers through the bitter cold so she can be warm. His hands get so numb he can't even hold a spoon to eat his food. And here's the most important part. He never told her. Not once. It was a completely selfless, unseen act of love. And that right there brings us to the real truth of it all. It was never about one big dramatic gesture. It was about a lifetime of these small, quiet kindnesses. This quote from the narrator is it's heartbreaking. She finally realizes she spent her whole life thinking she understood his sacrifice, the penknife, when really, that was just the only one she could see. His love was this giant ocean, and she'd only ever noticed a single drop. So, ultimately, his character wasn't defined by the one lie he told for her. It was defined by the countless truths he lived for her. The story is called A Small Kindness, but for him, it was his entire way of life. The gloves, the money, taking the blame, they were all just pieces of a life he completely devoted to her. And really, that's what this story leaves us with. It kind of forces you to look at your own life and ask, who are the people quietly sacrificing for us? What are the small acts of love that have built the foundation of our own lives? Acts that maybe we've never even noticed. It's a powerful thought to leave you with.